What's up, guys? This is Danny Perez with Hillsborough Community College and Figure It Out Baseball. Today I'm going to show you guys a drill called the 1-2-3-1 drill. I'll explain exactly what the name means here in a minute, but basically what this drill works on is the timing of your hand separation in your pitching delivery, okay? The timing is going to be a little bit different for everybody, but the timing has to be in sync with your tempo down the mound. It's very important that your hands are on time with the rest of your body. If they're not, you're not going to be able to repeat your delivery consistently. And I'll explain more about what that means as I'm showing you guys the drill. Before I go ahead and demonstrate the drill, there's a couple of things that you need to know. First, this drill builds off of the backside drill. So if you haven't watched my previous video on the backside drill, please make sure you do that. Backside drill working on finding your balance point. Once you found your balance point, then it's time to separate the hands. So if you haven't perfected that drill yet, make sure you're working on that one, because then after you perfect that one, then you can start to work on the timing of your hand separation. Another thing I need to mention before I demonstrate the drill is our ultimate goal in doing this drill. So why is it important to separate your hands on time with your body? It's very important to separate your hands on time because you are trying to get to a throwing position by the time that front foot lands. So what I mean is every single time that front foot lands in your delivery, your arm has to be in the same position, okay? Your elbow should be at about shoulder height with your palm facing back, all right? You should not be down here. You shouldn't be lagging behind your body. Every single time your foot lands in your delivery, your arm should be in that same position, ready to throw. Before you begin the drill, it's important to be aware of where your hands start in your delivery. Do you start at about your face? Do you start at your waist? This is pretty much personal preference, but if you're having some trouble with it, this is the way I like to think about it. If you're a short arm action guy, okay, so that means when you're throwing, your arm comes back very quickly, very short, you can go ahead and set up high because that's where your arm action is automatically going to take you anyway. Not one is better than the other, but if you're a long arm action guy, okay, so you have that long arm swing, then you're better off with your hands low, okay? And the reason that I say that is because it's going to take out all the movement from here, down, and around. You're going to take out half of that movement by setting up here, and now, boom, when you separate those hands, you're already taking out half of the movement. Just like for the backside drill, all you're gonna need for this drill is your glove and a sock with the ball in it, okay? Again, you can use this drill with a towel, or you can do this drill throwing to a partner as well. We like to do, just like with the backside drill when we're working on hand separation, we like to do this drill for 2 sets of 10, but again, you can do it as many times as you like. To start this drill, all you're gonna do is come set like you normally would in your pitching delivery, okay? To show you guys the actual drill, I'm gonna be facing this way as if I'm throwing in that direction, okay? So you're gonna come set, and you're gonna basically break your delivery down into 3 steps. The first step is gonna be your leg lift, okay? Again, this can look different, all right? You can turn in, you can come straight up, you can be in the center of your body, you can be a little bit lower, all right? You can be a little bit higher, but again, step 1 is the leg lift. Step 2 is going to be your knee dropping, okay? So our goal here is to always separate our hands the very, very second our knee drops, okay? I like to teach it as if you have a string attached from your glove to your knee. So when that knee drops, the glove has to go with it, okay? Now, some guys may be a little bit quicker or a little bit later with their hand separation. For instance, if you're a very short arm action guy, okay, you have the luxury of separating your hands a little bit later, okay? CC Sabathia, for instance, was a guy who separated his hands very early, okay? But for the most part, to gain that consistency, especially if you're a young player looking to throw strikes on a consistent basis and repeat your delivery, the best way to think about it is the second that knee drops, your hands have to separate, okay? That should be one simultaneous movement. Step one is here, step two is here. Now notice, I'm not putting all my weight down on my front side on step two, okay? I'm keeping my weight on my back side. My front foot may barely tap the ground, but all my weight is still staying back here, okay? So it looks like this. 1, 2, all right? Where your hands are on separation may be a little bit higher or lower depending on your arm action, okay? But the timing is what we're worried about here. So 1, 2, 3 is gonna be your full stride, all right? You're gonna get that hand back into that throwing position. That's what we're talking about when we say throwing position on foot strike. When that front foot lands and you're in your full stride, your hand better be back here every single time, okay? So that's 3, that's step 3, okay? Then when I say 1 again, we come back up and we throw, okay? So, all together, it's gonna look like this, and you can count it out to yourself while you're doing the drill. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay? So you're making sure that you're hitting each of those steps, and then you're gathering yourself back over the rubber again. One more time. It'll look like this. And you can get quicker with it as you go along, as you start to perfect each step of the drill. In order to stay fluid, you can start to get a little bit quicker with it. So it can start to look as something like this. 1, 2, 3, 1. Again, guys, this has been the 1, 2, 3, 1 drill, which works on the second absolute of our pitching delivery, and that is the timing of our hand separation. Now, again, it's going to be a little bit different for everybody based on your arm action and your tempo down the mound. But if you're a young player looking to repeat your delivery consistently, you want to make sure that when your knee drops, your hands are separating at the exact same time. Now, if you haven't already watched my first video on the backside drill, please make sure you do that, because this drill builds upon that drill. So what you learned in that backside drill, you're gonna have to use in order to perfect this drill. So make sure you learn that drill first. Please make sure to check out my next drill video on hip leads, which is gonna work on making sure that our hips are going towards home plate before our upper body does. Thank you again. My name is Danny Perez with Hillsborough Community College and Figure It Out Baseball.